Toyota has just come out and said that electric car sales are absolutely not about to increase in Australia. They have said some interesting comments about them. In fact, they've just claimed that on the same day, the future of the automotive industry is definitely not EV. It's absolutely 100% hydrogen. EV sales are not about to boom in Australia. What do you guys think about this? I mean, I don't really understand. Are they trying to influence people's opinions and buying decisions by telling them EV sales are not going to boom, don't buy one. You don't want to join in this, all these idiots buying EVs. There's not enough, there's not many of them. It's a small percentage of people. So it'd be a big risk for you to make this decision. That's what I think Toyota is trying to tell the automotive industry. Everyday mum and dads. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. Toyota says that electric cars won't account for the majority of new car sales in 5 years' time. EVs won't hit 51% or over 50% market share in 5 years' time. I beg to differ. In fact, I'm very confident that is false. And the reason is because, well, there was a really good post on Facebook today where someone talked about the first EV they bought. They said it had 360 kilometers of range. Charging speed, I think, was 100 kilowatt. They said their experience driving that car, going on road trips and things, was okay, but not great. Then they got a new EV, 630 kilometers of range, charges at 250 kilowatt. They use this Tesla supercharger network, and they said their experience was completely changed. It was like night and day. It was amazing. People like that are telling other people. They are. I mean, I tell other people about why they should buy an EV constantly. And at the same time, EVs are getting cheaper. They absolutely are. They're getting cheaper everywhere around the world. And internal combustion cars are not getting cheaper. Remember though, in 5 years' time, we will have EVs with sodium-ion batteries with a higher energy density than BYD's Blade battery. Batteries cost half the price of lithium iron phosphate batteries, and they have no degradation in cold or hot weather, charge at the same speeds in freezing cold temperatures, and they're half the price. Yeah, half the price. So it'll be cheaper. By 2030, it'll be much cheaper to manufacture an EV than an internal combustion car. By the way, should I mention those batteries will last for 3.6 million miles, according to Cadle. Yeah, in other words, you'll basically buy an EV and you'll have the battery pack for the rest of your life if you want to keep it, to power your house, if you want to power your house. I mean, you buy an EV with a 60 to 90 kilowatt hour battery, that is more than what you need to power your house for any blackout situation. You'll probably never pay for electricity again if you install solar and use that battery. I don't think Toyota is really thinking this through. Electric cars will make less than a third of new vehicle sales in Australia in 5 years' time, according to Toyota. So in 5 years' time, less than 33% of all car sales in Australia, and I'm guessing that Toyota is probably referencing other countries like the US as well, will be electric. Speaking at a media event for the 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser, Toyota Australia's Vice President, Sean Hanley, said EV sales are not about to boom. Do we think EVs will play a role? Yes, 100%. But they're not going to be 80% of the market in 3 to 5 years. In my opinion, maybe 30%, but that's about where it'll sit. Now, famously, Toyota's president, Akio Toyoda, he said that EV sales will never hit more than 30% market share worldwide. We're actually on track to surpass that within 2 years. Now, he said that actually within the last 12 months. And obviously, he's paying no attention whatsoever to the increase in EV sales. That EV sales globally are going up enormously worldwide. In fact, interestingly, EV sales outside of China, Europe, and the United States have actually increased by about 40% worldwide this year. Very interesting. I think one other thing that we're not paying attention to is in developing countries, EV sales are actually increasing much faster because motorbikes and tuk-tuks are going electric much quicker than the car industry. And the reason is because it's just economics. It's simple economics. Go to Bangladesh, yeah, go to Thailand now, go to many countries now, you'll find that there's way more of these tuk-tuks and motorbikes and electric vehicles that are not cars on the streets, way more than there are cars. And all of those are going electric really quickly because it saves the operators so much money. And because they're actually easy to build. These comments from Toyota came ahead of the federal government's climate target announcement, which analysts say requires 50% of all new vehicle sales to be EVs by 2035. In Australia, for us to hit the target, 50% of our car sales in 2035 need to be electric. Now, I personally think that's been a controversial thing in the media today. People are saying Australia is not going to hit 50% electric cars by 2035 in new car sales. I think that we will easily surpass that number before 2035, based on what I've said earlier. Toyota, globally and in Australia, has followed what it calls a multi-pathway approach to electrification, offering internal combustion vehicles, diesel vehicles, hybrid vehicles, plug-in hybrid vehicles. They don't really have any plug-in hybrids in Australia, but in some countries they do. EVs, very small number of EVs, only one model in most countries, and hydrogen fuel cell powertrains. But they are digging in, saying the future won't be diesel. They're saying diesel will end up dying and be replaced with hydrogen. And that will be the number one form of transportation use, hydrogen-powered vehicles, in 2040. That's what Toyota have claimed will happen. The automaker was one of few brands not to commit to a significant portion of its total sales being EVs in the early 2020s. And now some people are saying that is coming back to hurt them, particularly because of how Toyota has been struggling in its most important market, which is China. Now, Toyota says one of the reasons why Australians won't buy EVs, and not just Australians, but Americans as well, customers are still going to want to tow vans. They're still going to have their cars for leisure. They still need them for mining, agriculture, and other applications, said Mr. Hanley. So is it true that in 2035 or 2030, people who want to tow a van or I'm guessing he's saying have a vehicle that can tow a caravan, is it true that people who want to tow a caravan or want to have a car for leisure or need a car for mining or agriculture or other applications won't get an electric vehicle? Well, I think that is ridiculous considering the energy density of batteries is going up every year. It is. The charging speed is going up every year. The cost of batteries is falling every year. I'd say by 2035, there will be millions of people worldwide towing with electric vehicles. Millions. And even if some people don't want to do that, those people aren't going to buy an internal combustion car from Toyota. They're not. You'd have to be mad to do that in 2035. They'll buy an e-rev, maybe a plug-in hybrid. So the majority of sales, I'd say in 2035, will be electric. Then there will be some plug-in hybrids. Then there'll be some e-revs. Those will still exist. By 2040, they will all be gone. By 2035, I think that's true. However, would anyone say that Toyota is making state-of-the-art e-revs or plug-in hybrids? Well, not even Toyota themselves believe they are. And that's why Toyota are going to be using BYD's plug-in hybrid technology next year. So, I think they are falling behind. And I really think this is Toyota's Kodak moment. We're going to go back in 2050, 2060. We're going to look back in the history books and students will be studying the death of Kodak, the death of, big companies, BlackBerry, and they'll add Toyota to this list and they'll say, this was what happened. Toyota's hubris and arrogance, and really they're not wanting to change. It's like Toyota are like an old man and a grumpy old man stuck in his ways, doesn't want to try sushi, never wants to try that because he only wants to try the foods that he knows, doesn't want to try a new vehicle, and he hates anyone who drives an EV. There's someone in my street like that, by the way. He looks at me like I'm an alien because I'm in an EV. And that's what Toyota is like. They're being dragged kicking and screaming into the future. They don't like it. And they're telling everyone, don't worry, there is no future. The future is what Toyota decides it will be. But that's not how things work.